Hey everybody, Jeff here with a brand new episode of the PubTriviaExperience. And tonight we are back at it again in my quadrant of the Hot Seat Tournament. We are on to the second round. We've had some crazy matchups so far leading us to this point, and I expect that this will be no different. Let's start tonight with our first guest, Matt. Matt is back with us. Matt, how are you doing? What you drinking? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name's Matt. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Seattle right now. It's been good. Excited to play tonight. I am drinking a Dinosaurs Will Die IPA. It's an IPA mixed with some pineapple puree from a Oakshire brewery in Eugene, Oregon. So it's pretty tasty.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, that sounds incredible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not going to bode well. My wife's been trying to get me to go to the Pacific Northwest for a while now because she loves it up there. And damn it, that sounds like a good reason to go.
Yeah, you should. It's gorgeous up here. It really is. So,
wow, that's amazing. Well, you've heard Matt. Let's hear from Tim. Tim, how are you doing, and what are you drinking tonight? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am pretty tired today. We drove all over God's green earth to get my kid his vaccination. And, I totally forgot we were recording tonight, so we'll see how this goes. I am drinking a nice, basically sugar-free lemonade. It's water and a gratuitous amount of lemon juice. So it's sugar-free lemonade. And, a little bit about me. I am one of the hosts here on PubTriviaExperience. You've heard my voice numerous times before at this point, and I'm excited to see if I can make it out of the second round, unlike any other. Well, no, edit that out because that's spoilers.
Maybe.
I'm excited to see if I can make it out of the second round here. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, you've gone farther than me, and that's not that hard because I didn't make it out of the first round. But hopefully you do us proud. We'll see. But we're here for the hot seat. But you know how this goes. Our warm-up round today is going to consist of 5 questions each. We'll go back and forth in a yes or no, this or that, binary type question. On that round, there will be no punishment for wrong answers. So again, just take your guesses as you wish. You never know if they'll be right. After that, we're going to move on to our main round, which is why we're all here, the Hot Seat Challenge. That'll be our 30 minutes of back and forth questions where you answer as many correctly as you can. We'll make sure that you guys have all the same amount of questions. And again, there will be no punishment for answering incorrectly. So take any of those wild-ass guesses you might have because some of them do land correctly. After that, we're going to move on to our final wager round where you guys will spread out as many points as you guys have earned for the first 2 rounds. You can wager those up to as many as you have or as little as you'd like, but you cannot exceed the amount of points that you have entering that round. This will be the only time in which you can lose points for an incorrect answer. After those questions, we'll have a winner, and we will see who will be moving on to the next round, but let's go ahead and get started. Sound good?
Let's do it.
sounds good.
All right, Matt, you were selected by my randomizer to go first today, so you will get us kicked off with our warm-up round. Our warm-up game today is going to be Ford or Chevy. I'll give you the name of the vehicle, and you will tell me if they are a Ford or a Chevy. The catch, of course, and of course there's a catch, is that these are all the non-American names of the vehicles. So let's see how this goes. Matt, like I said, you're getting us started. Your first vehicle today is Menlo. The Menlo.
Menlo. Ford.
You went with Ford. The answer was Chevy. Over to Tim. Yours is the Mondeo.
The Mondeo. Is it the Ford Mondeo or the Chevy? That sounds like it goes better with Chevy, so I'm going to say Chevy.
Well, let's not let the folks over at Ford know, because they would be quite offended. That one was Ford. Back over to Matt. The Endura.
Endura. Honestly, if you did the American version of these models, I also would do terrible at this game. So the catch wasn't really necessary. I'm just going to stick with my guns and go with Ford again.
Well, I think Ford probably be happy you stuck with your guns because you got it right. Picking up the first point of the game. Back over to Tim. We have the Onyx.
That sounds like a. Ooh, so on the one hand, my initial gut said Chevy. However, I'm also. Who is it who's like a rock? Is that Chevy? Yeah, I'm going to go with Chevy.
All right. Well, it sounds like your gut was right because Onyx is correct. Back over to Matt. You have the Monza.
Monza. Yeah. So I'm going to play this the same that I played the last 2 rounds. I'm just going to continue with Ford and hope they don't let me down.
Well, as usual, Ford did let you down.
You know,
As
it
it
happens.
has me in many places in life. All right. Back over to Tim. You have the Everest.
The Everest. Is it the Chevy Everest or the Ford Everest? The Chevy Everest. Well, the last time I said it sounded like it would flow better as a Chevy. It was a Ford. So I'm going to say a Ford.
And somehow, whatever logic you're using worked. It is the Ford Everest. Tim picking up another point. Back over to Matt. You have the Captiva.
Captiva. I mean, this one, Chevy sounds better. It at least has the alliteration. So I'm going to try to use Tim's logic of it just sounds better and go with Chevy.
Well, I think Tim's wild ass logic is working because that's correct. Back over to Tim. You have the Puma.
The shoe? The Puma. The Puma. I'm going to say. Trying to remember if I've heard any of this. Ford Puma, the Chevy Puma. I'm going to go with Chevy.
Going with Chevy. Unfortunately, it is the Ford. Back over to Matt. You, for your last one here, have the Orlando.
The Orlando. All right. So I feel like Ford, very Detroit centric, wouldn't use Orlando. So I'm going to try Chevy.
You logicked your way there. Chevy's the right answer. And the final warm up question for Tim is the Kuga.
As in cougar without the R?
Well, no, it's just Kuga.
Okay.
The Kuga.
Okay. Okay, so the real question is Jeff as much of an asshole as I am? Because on the one hand, Jeff could be lazy and do 5 of each and just randomize them. And in that case, that leaves we've got 5 Chevys and 4 Fords out there. Or is he like me, where I take 14 of the options, randomize them, and take the first 10? So there's no real game theory. I'm going to play the game theory, and I'm going to go with Ford.
Well, if you're going to vote that I'm the lazy one, you are correct. Let's all praise Tim for his 14 to 10 answers. But yeah, no, you guys ended up tying after that round of 3-3.
Okay.
So it was not nearly as bad as you thought.
My crazy logic got me to 3, huh?
Well, sadly, your crazy logic also helped him, so way to go. All right. Well, are you guys ready for the hot seat?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, the timer will begin as soon as I finish reading the first question. Matt, you'll be going first. Your question is: which scientist sailed the HMS Beagle to South America, including a stop in the Galapagos Islands?
Darwin.
Darwin is correct. Tim, within 2,000, how many breaths does the human body take daily?
Within 2,000. So let's see if I can try to logic this out here. You take roughly, we'll say 10 per minute times 60 is 600. 600 times 24. I will say about. Is that math right? Hold on. 600 times 24. Yeah, I'll say about 13,000.
13,000? Well, the answer was actually 20,000.
Oh, wow.
So that is a no. Back over to Matt. Richard Wagner's majestic Ride of the Valkyries accompanies a swarm of helicopters during a climactic scene in which film?
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now is correct. Over to Tim. The Eighth Amendment to the Constitution prohibits any punishments that are cruel or what?
Unusual.
Unusual is correct. Back to Matt. In 1979, a Florida restaurateur founded the Boca brand, starting with a line of meatless what?
I'm going to just go with the most obvious. I'll say burgers.
Burgers is correct. The Boca Burger. Back over to Tim. In 2007, Barry Bonds broke Hank Aaron's career home run record while playing for what MLB team?
You said Barry Bonds broke the record playing for what team?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, San Francisco Giants.
San Francisco Giants is correct. Back to Matt. Home Alone director Christopher Columbus has a production company that is aptly named for what year?
I have no idea. I guess I'll just pick the year Home Alone came out. 1990.
1990. The answer was actually 1492.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Back to Tim. What is China's largest social networking platform called?
I've heard this, but I'm not going to pull it. So I'm just going to say Facebook because I know it's wrong.
All right. It's actually Weibo. Back over to Matt. What is the Brangelina-like nickname that tabloids used to refer to the young stars of the Twilight films?
So it's Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. I don't know this. Christensen.
Christensen's not a terrible guess, but it was actually Robston.
Oh.
Robston. All right, back over to Tim. What watch brand takes a licking and keeps on ticking?
I've heard. Wow. I'm just gonna say Timex.
And it's a good thing you did. Timex was correct. Back over to Matt. Publish or perish is a rule usually said to apply to the careers of what professionals?
Academics, professors, people seeking
Yep.
tenure.
That is correct. Back over to Tim. What does LED stand for in the LED lights?
Light emitting diode.
Light emitting diode's correct. Just under 25 minutes to go. It looks like we still have a tie. 7-7. Back over to Matt. What is the only U.S. state allowed to fly its flag as high as the national flag?
I'm not sure about this one either, but they have a bunch of weird things about their flags, so I'm going to guess Texas.
Texas guess is a good one. That is correct. Back over to Tim. President Grover Cleveland was born in Ohio. True or false?
False.
That is correct. Back over to Matt. Who penned the 2008 memoir, Here's the Story, Surviving Marsha Brady and Finding My True Voice?
Florence Henderson.
It was actually Maureen McCormick. Back over to Tim. In the late 1800s, William Boss Tweed led a corrupt political machine centered in what U.S. city?
In the late 1800s?
The late 1800s.
And you're looking for the city.
That is correct.
Okay. I am being pulled in one of two directions. And I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Going with Atlanta. Well, I'm not sure what your other direction was, but it was actually New York.
Oh, it was not that.
All right. Back over to Matt. What Toy Story toy was the first toy to be advertised on television?
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head is correct. Back to Tim. Which U.S. race was called the International Sweepstakes when it began in 1911, with cars doing an average speed of about 74 miles per hour?
I'm going to go with the Indy 500.
And you would be correct. Back to Matt. Which author's work includes The Giving Tree and Where the Sidewalk Ends?
Shel Silverstein.
Shel Silverstein's correct. Back to Tim. What Beatle was the best man at the wedding of Everyone Loved Raymond star Peter Boyle?
That went in a direction I was not expecting. Peter Boyle. Beatle. We'll go with McCartney.
Oh, it was actually John Lennon. Very weird piece of trivia right there.
Very weird.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, back to Matt. Home of Claude the Eagle, American University is a private school located where?
I think it's in Washington, D.C.
Well, you have thought correctly. Washington, D.C. Back to Tim. The letters SOS on the scrubbing pad packaging stand for Save Our what? Saucepans, sponges, or sweat?
SOS pads. Save our. Any one of those would make a whole lot of sense. We'll say save our sponges.
Save Our sponges. The correct answer is saucepans. All right, back to Matt. Which word describes 1,024 terabytes of data? Exabyte, petabyte, or zettabyte?
Could I have the choices on that again?
Sure. You have exabyte, petabyte, or zettabyte.
Petabyte.
Petabyte's correct. All right, back to Tim. In a tradition inspired by the Bible, a sabbatical leave is usually taken once every how many years?
7.
7's correct. And we are just under 20 minutes left. Matt has taken a lead here with 12 to Tim's 10. Back over to Matt. A state that celebrated its Cuarto Centenario in 1998, New Mexico was founded in what year?
Let me guess, 1598.
That is a correct guess. 1598. Back to Tim. Before becoming British royalty, who had jobs at a party planning company and as a part-time clothing buyer?
Meghan Markle.
Oh, Kate Middleton was
It's
who
the
we were
other
looking
one.
for. Yep. Back to Matt. Which fashion designer made Michelle Obama's gowns for the inauguration balls of 2009 and 2013?
Yeah, I don't know that I have a good guess on this. Dior.
Dior is a good guess, but it was actually Jason Wu. Back over to Tim. In which sport is the target ball called the Palina, Bocino, or Jack?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, let me go over those again. In which sport is the target ball called the Palina, Bocino, or Jack?
So it's called all four of these?
I'm guessing so.
It's a sport in which the ball is called all four of these? Is that's what you're asking?
Yes, I'm looking for the sport.
I'm going to go with the sport that I know nothing about and go cricket.
Gonna go with cricket. It was actually bocce. Bocce ball. Back to Matt. What is the first line of the Little League Baseball's official pledge?
No idea that the Little League had an official pledge. I never played Little League, unfortunately. Play ball.
Play ball would be the final two words. The first two words are I trust in God.
That would be why I did not know that.
Back over to Tim. Which British explorer first circumnavigated Antarctica?
I've got nothing.
All right, passing on that one.
Yeah.
All right, it was Captain James Cook. Back to Matt. Which king of all media was fired from many terrestrial radio stations and eventually found a home on his own channel via SiriusXM?
I believe that's Howard Stern.
Howard Stern's correct. Back to Tim. New Zealander Lucy Lawless rose to stardom for her role as sword-wielding royalty in which TV series?
That would be Xena Warrior Princess.
That it would be. Back to Matt. What European city is home to the famously whimsical architecture of Antonio Gaudi?
I don't know this, so I'm going to pick a whimsical or European city. But Gotti sounds Italian. About Milan.
Go with Milan. It was actually Barcelona. Barcelona. Back to Tim. In which city would you find an airport named after a U.S. president and first lady?
We'll go with Texas.
All right.
Or city. So we'll go with Houston.
All right, going with Houston. It was actually Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
Never would have got that.
Name for the Clintons, I assume.
I'm guessing so. All right, over to Matt. Once dubbed the notorious BAG by the media, Brian Austin Green starred in what 90s teen drama?
He was on... which one is it? Melrose Place.
Brian Austin Green was on Beverly Hills 90210.
It was the other one.
All right, back to Tim. Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, and MasterChef are reality shows hosted by what hot-tempered chef?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay's correct. Back to Matt. In Colombia, the aptly named Biblioburros is a program that uses donkeys to distribute what?
I'm going to say books.
Books is correct. Back to Tim. If you cross the Mississippi River on the Natchez Vidalia Bridge, which two states are you traversing?
If you cross the Mississippi, I will go the Natchez Vidalia.
Yep.
We will go with No. The Natchez Vidalia. Tennessee, Arkansas?
We were actually looking for Mississippi and Louisiana. Back over to Matt. What style of felt hat is identified by its short crown and narrow brim?
A fedora.
Close, but we're looking for the pork pie. Back over to Tim. What classic rock song's first line urges you to get your motor running, head out on the highway?
Oh man, I can hear it. What is get your motor running? Head out on the highway. But I'm not going to get there. I pass.
All right. Well, you are no longer born to be wild.
Oh man.
I couldn't come up with it either. It was running in my head and it wasn't coming to me either.
Yeah, I could hear those two lines and I could not figure out what the rest of it was.
Yep.
All right, back to Matt. What type of scientist is commonly referred to as a prehistorian?
Prehistorian. Not sure what that would be. Something. I guess maybe a paleontologist.
I think it was looking for archaeologist is what it was looking for.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Back over to Tim. If you are a belieber, you belong to which pop artist's loyal fan following?
That would be Justin Bieber.
It sure would. And while you might not born to be wild, you would definitely a belieber. 10 minutes left. We've got a close game. Matt, you've got 15. Tim, you are hanging in there with 13. We're back to Matt. In the 1960s, the CIA reportedly tried to manufacture exploding cigars in order to assassinate what world leader?
Fidel Castro.
That is correct. Back to Tim. A famous auto racing venue, the Bonneville Salt Flats occupy over 30,000 acres of what U.S. state?
A famous racing venue?
Mm-hmm.
Bonneville. Where would Bonneville be? And we'll go back. We're looking for the state?
Correct, yep.
We'll go back with Indiana.
Oh, we're actually looking for Utah.
What racing venue is in Utah? Okay.
It's where they do all the like land speed records because it's so flat.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That does ring a bell now.
Yeah.
I thought about Utah, but I couldn't think of racing anything.
All right, back to Matt. Which tennis star boycotted Wimbledon for 3 years because he wasn't allowed to wear his trademark denim shorts?
Denim shorts. I feel like I should know this. I'm just gonna say, I don't know, McEnroe.
I went a little too far back. It was actually Andre Agassi.
That was my first thought. Should have went with it.
All right, back to Tim. In which Quentin Tarantino film series did Uma Thurman play first the deadliest woman in the world with a knife?
That's Kill Bill.
Kill Bill's correct. Back to Matt. What is an ice hockey puck made from?
Rubber.
Rubber's correct.
Almost
Back
way
to-
overthought that one.
Back to Tim. In the cover of the song Proud Mary, Tina Turner sings, and we're rolling on the what?
The river.
The river. Getting lots of river questions today. Back to Matt. One of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Camille Grammer is the ex-wife of the star of what TV sitcom?
I complained about Real Housewife questions the last time I was on here, so. But I mean, the only Grammer I know that did TV was Kelsey Grammer, so I'm hoping the answer is Frasier.
You are hoping correctly. Back to Tim. In England, what professionals are classified either as barristers or solicitors?
We're looking for a profession.
Correct.
Lawyer.
Lawyer is correct. Back to Matt. What does an archerfish launch to knock its prey out of an overhanging branch?
I'm going to say it projects out water.
This has spit, but I think I'll accept that. Water, spit. Tim, back to you. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union downgraded Pluto from planet to what lesser celestial body?
Dwarf planet.
Dwarf planet's correct. With just over 5 minutes to go, Matt still has a 2-point lead, 19 to Tim 17. Back over to Matt. In the Archie comic series, who is Archie's main rival?
I'm going to say Jughead.
All right. It is actually Reggie. Reggie was his main rival. Back to Tim. Who was the first U.S. president to be impeached by the House of Representatives?
The first one to be impeached. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Nixon. So, but I think it's way before that.
Yep, the first one was actually Andrew Johnson. We are back over to Matt. Which roadside attraction near Amarillo, Texas, consists of 10 cars buried nose down with graffiti-painted tail fins?
I feel like I've heard of this. Can you read the description of that one more time?
Sure. It consists of 10 cars buried nose down with graffiti-painted tail fins.
There's something in the back of my mind that tells me that there's something called, I don't know what it's the actual name, like Carhenge, like Stonehenge, but with cars.
Carhenge. All right. I do believe I've heard of Carhenge, but this location is called Cadillac Ranch. All right. We're back over to Tim. Located in the arm in humans, the humerus bone is located where in birds?
In their legs.
The humerus bone in birds is in their wings.
Wow. I didn't think it was quite that obvious.
Back to Matt. In which U.S. state would you find the weather condition called VOG?
Can you spell VOG for me?
VOG.
That did not help. Weird. I mean, I'm trying to think of where weird weather conditions could occur. Alaska.
Going with Alaska. Well, it's the other non-contiguous state. It's Hawaii.
Figured.
Back to Tim. In his Oscar acceptance speech, what director asked for a moment of silence for the victims of the Titanic?
Director, I'm going to go with James Cameron.
James Cameron's correct. Back to Matt. Which American Idol runner-up in 2003 was an also ran on Which American Idol runner-up in 2003 was an also ran on Celebrity Apprentice in 2012, losing out to Arsenio Hall?
Oh, who? If If I say Justin, is that enough information, or do you need the last name?
I think I would need a last name.
Justin Guetta?
All right, going with Justin Weta.
I think it's G is the first name. I'm something like
Guetta.
Yeah, I can't think of the last name.
Okay. The person you're looking or trying to say is Justin Guarini.
Yeah.
The person it was though was Clay Aiken.
Oh, okay.
Back over to that's embarrassing. I know that. Back over to Tim. At the White House, what is the name for the porches that lead to the north and south entrances?
The porches? The Rose Garden.
They're actually called the porticos.
Okay.
And back to Matt. What U.S. city is home to Grant's tomb, the final resting place of President Ulysses S. Grant?
I think I'm going to go with Washington, D.C. again.
Go with D.C. It was actually New York City.
Oh, interesting.
All right, we are now out of time, but I do believe we need to give Tim his final question to make it even. Your final question is, what is the first anime film to win an Academy Award?
Oh. I think it was called Spirited Away.
You thought correctly.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, boy. Well, folks, Matt had a lead almost the entire time, but we are now tied at 19-19.
Oh, I'm so glad I pulled that.
So going into our final round, you both have 19 points to wager with. Not that that'll make it any easier now that you are tied. But while you guys work on some wagers, I will let you know your 3 categories tonight are movies, current events, and geography. All right, while you guys work on that, I will go ahead and let our listeners know about everywhere we are on social media. You can find us at PubTriviaExperience on Facebook and Instagram. We are PubTriviaPod on Twitter because they don't give us enough characters for our entire name. You can also check us out on Facebook. We've got a group over there called The Lounge, fans of PubTriviaExperience and Boozy Bracketology. We got a lot of people on there. We're always trying to keep up with some good topics and complaints and whatever you want to talk about over there. You can also support us at patreon.com/PTEBB. We've got a few different levels of support over there, and everything that you guys are able to support us for goes right back into the show. We really appreciate any and all of it. To our current patrons out there, thank you. We do appreciate it. You are what keep us running, so we appreciate that. We also do have a Discord now. You can find that at ptebb.com/discord. And if you forget to put the Discord on there, ptebb.com, you'll find some merch. We've got some t-shirts and a few things out there. So we are out there. If you want to find us, we are happy to chat, talk. If you got ideas, maybe for a trivia topic, maybe for our sister show, Boozy Bracketology, let us know. We're always listening. All right. Do you guys have your wagers ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Well, let us begin our final round. Your first question is going to be, the National Lampoon's Vacation film series is a comedy film series initially based on what author and filmmaker's short story, Vacation 58, that was originally published by National Lampoon magazine? As usual, the rules for the final round are locking in. Once the first person locks in, the next person can talk it out.
I'll go ahead and lock in an answer.
All right, Tim has locked in. Matt, let's hear what you're thinking.
So, I mean, I know who's credited as the writer of the film. I don't know if that's the same as the writer of the work that it's based on. Could I have you read the question one more time just before I lock in an answer?
Absolutely. The National Lampoon's Vacation film series is a comedy film series that was initially based on what author and filmmaker's short story, Vacation 58, that was originally published by National Lampoon magazine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to trust that the person who I think wrote this movie is the same person who wrote the short story, although I didn't know this portion of the trivia. So I am locked in with an answer.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to say that it's John Hughes.
Locking in with John Hughes. And what was your wager on that?
This might be anticlimactic. I bet 19.
Bet 19 on that. All right. Tim, what was your answer on that question?
So the only name that I can ever associate with like being on and all of or being associated with like National Lampoon, and I think it's probably actually a character in a different series, but I put Van Wilder for one.
Put Van Wilder for
One.
1 point. All right. Moving on to our second question. In news or current events, the question is, the global sports retailer Fanatics announced on January 3rd, 2022, that it had purchased what famous trading card and candy company?
I'll go ahead and lock in.
All right, Tim's locked in again. Matt?
So I know a bunch of trading card companies, and I know a bunch of candy companies. Do I know one that's both? I've also spoiled what my wager is, so I don't have to think about this too hard. I'm just going to say Topps, which is a sports card company.
Locking in with Topps. I'm going to go ahead and guess that's a 0 because you have no more points to use. Tim, what was your answer?
Yeah, I locked in with Topps as well. If I remember correctly, they were originally a bubblegum company, and the baseball cards and stuff came later.
All right, locking in with Topps. And what was your wager on that?
I went with another 1.
Went with another 1. All right. And we are on to our third question, which is in, what did I say, geography?
I think so.
Yes.
Geography. I forgot to write categories down. Let's just be transparent. All right, your question is, achiras or bizcochos de achira are traditional crackers from what South American country? They are made from achira flour, which is native to the region, instead of wheat flour.
I'll go ahead and lock in.
All right, race to the buzzer there. I guess, Matt, just go ahead and let us know what you answered.
I just picked a country. I was going to let Tim talk this one out, but I just said Brazil, and I did wager 0, so I just picked a country.
All right, Tim, what was your answer there?
I said Peru for 0.
Peru for 0. All right. All right. Well, our first question was, the National Lampoon's Vacation film series is a comedy film series initially based on what author and filmmaker's short story, Vacation 58, that was originally published by National Lampoon's magazine? The answer for that was John Hughes.
Damn. Wow.
Based on that,
Christopher Columbus screwed me earlier, so I wasn't going to let 2 80s kids filmmakers ruin my night. So,
yep, got that one right. But we'll quickly run through the other ones. The second one was, in fact, Topps. You both got that correct. The last one was actually Columbia.
Okay.
Columbia. But we do have a winner. Matt just straight up doubled it up on the first question. So ended the night with 38 points. Tim with 19. Matt, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It was a great game. I thought you had made a great comeback there at the end to tie it up, and I was very nervous on that question after going all in on the first one. So,
yeah, I might have bet differently if the category for number 2 had been like sports or something a little bit more leading towards what it was, but unfortunately I bet 1, and my wagering it bit me tonight.
Yeah.
It bit you. I was a little I was kind of hoping that you wagered all of them and then you would have only lost the 1 point and lost by 1. Because boy, that'd have been exciting, but no.
No, I don't wager big on these because like I know how you write. So I was actually like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get any of these right. So I'm going to just wager small and hope that he wagers big.
Yeah, last
And
time I did, and I didn't know that last time. I hadn't listened to enough of your games, so I spread my points out, and it almost cost me the game. So this time I was like, movies is my best category. I'm just going to move in and live or die on it. So
yeah, it's definitely been fun seeing some strategies start to form on this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's we've really kind of flushed this game out over the however many episodes we've done so far. We've definitely learned a strategy. But yeah, I play tested that movie question earlier on some what I would consider some pretty good movie buffs, and neither of them got it, so I was a little worried. But congratulations, Matt, Tim, another PTE member gone. Welcome to the club. Sorry, it sucks out here. But I appreciate you both being here. Matt, we will see you in the next round. You are going up against who? Scott. You'll be going up against Scott. That episode is coming out, I think, next week. Yeah, congratulations. Thank you all for being here. That's all for us here at the Pub Trivia Hot Seat Tournament. Join us next time for more exciting trivia action. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Jeff.
I'm Matt. Thanks for having me.
And I've been Tim.
And we'll see you on the next show.